Thursday. It's been pouring all week. Oh my god. I'm trying to be positive and then look into the next week, and then it's the same weather forecast. So it's just like a loop of rain and it's nonstop. So a little update on that construction thing that we had going on. It's still ongoing because obviously the rain has delayed everything. So it's not looking great, and it's been like this for the past 3 days. I've had to work from home more days than usual because I just want to be here in case they can actually make progress, just to finally have our outdoor space. I just feel a little suffocated right now and I love our apartment, so feeling this way in our apartment makes me so frustrated. But anyways, hopefully that's gonna end soon because it just needs to end. If not, I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyways, I started this vlog with a rant and I'm sorry about that. I just feel like I had to let it out because I was really hoping that they would come today and they ended up canceling. One of my friends messaged me this week because she was very curious about how Tiao and I made the big move. If you guys remember my last video, not my last video, but the previous one, it was actually our 1-year anniversary here in Australia. I feel like Tiao and I went into the whole visa process without really knowing anything, and we got so lucky we managed to figure it out. And I wanted to give you guys a little combo in this vlog where I'm just gonna be sitting here and walking through how we actually made that happen. And then the second part is just gonna be a little weekend vlog because I've been enjoying making those. Let's start with how the we made it to Australia, because all of this started after Tiao and I went on that trip in 2024. And if you guys watched my little introduction video of who I am, I kind of walked through the whole thought process of why we started thinking of moving here. And it was a combination of visa, but then also the opportunity of living somewhere else together. I remember sitting in my apartment one day with Tiao and we were like, okay, so how are we actually gonna make this happen? Because we have no idea what the visa requirements are. We have no idea if we'll be able to find jobs. So this is when we started doing our little research. I'm just gonna close the door because I feel like you can hear all the car noise in the background. One sec. Okay, much better. We started off by researching how other people have done it in the past. And I actually had two friends actually. One of them lives here in Sydney, shout out Conti. And then another one lives in Melbourne, shout out Vale. And I obviously called them to figure out how they did it, what was the process like for them. And to be honest, it was very different scenarios because both of them came here to study. And Tiao and I knew that wasn't an option because we didn't really want to come here for a master's. So we were both like, okay, we need to go with jobs. So that was the first thing that kind of got removed from the list, coming here with some sort of master's program or whatever. And then that's when we started researching about the working holiday visa, which maybe a lot of people know about, but it's this really cool visa that you get to come here for a year and just work mostly hospitality jobs, because in the visa itself, you're only allowed to work 6 months somewhere and then you have to change 6 months somewhere else. So a lot of people come here and do hospo, and you just get to experience living in Australia and meeting a lot of people that are on the same boat, and it's really fun. But I think Tiao and I we just want to spend more than a year there. I feel like we were both let's do 2 to 3 years. And I think the mindset of just coming here with a hospitality job didn't feel long-term enough. So we were like, okay, so let's figure out how other people do it. And that's when we read about this loophole where a lot of people come here with a working holiday. They start working for a company. So if you get an offer, you start working those 6 months. And then within those 6 months, the company chooses to sponsor you or to not. And then, yeah, you kind of go from there. But one of my friends who had done the same in the past told me that worked out for him. So we were both very optimistic about starting the interview process, letting them know that we would come in with a working holiday, and then kind of sussing out if they would want to sponsor us or not. So Tiao got an offer immediately. It was so quick. They just gave him an offer and they were like, you need to start next month. And this was, I think it was in April. And he applied for the working holiday. He got it immediately because he had a European passport. And I applied for the working holiday feeling like, oh, I'm gonna get it tomorrow and then we're gonna be all set to go in May. Nope. The wait list was a month at least, and I think we both didn't realize the amount of demand that there is for that working holiday. So we were just like, yeah, let's just apply, like just do it now. We'll get it soon and then we'll go whenever. But my visa took so long, guys. Like it took 40 days to arrive, and every day that passed, Dale and I would get more and more anxious because his job started asking him to like make sure that we had our flights booked and everything was like in motion, and I just wasn't getting my visa. And we both had already quit our jobs. We both didn't really have a place to live after June, so we were like freaking out about what we were gonna do. For a second we were like, okay, maybe you go and then I'll go back to Peru or whatever and then meet you there when I get my working holiday. But the mistake that Diao did is that he started looking at Reddit, and obviously like you should never Google these things because you're always going to read about the worst case scenario. And online you would see all these people complaining about how it's been 6 months, a year, like 2 years since they haven't heard back from their working holiday. So I started freaking out. I just didn't know, we both didn't know what to do with ourselves. I think we were just like really trying to stay optimistic, but every day that passed, I would just wake up at 3 a.m. because of the time difference, hoping that I would get an email, and I didn't get anything. So I was just really stressing. He was stressing. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I also got a job. So we both had jobs lined up starting, I think it was like the last week of May. And yeah, like my visa just wasn't arriving. So I think it was really difficult to come to terms with that uncertainty. I obviously, being the type A person that I am, I planned a trip to Lima like a week before we had our departure date because I wanted to say goodbye to my grandma, like leave all these things back home and then just like be super organized and only take the things that I wanted to Sydney. And literally the same day that I was getting on that flight, we had already had like a little goodbye party thinking that everything was gonna go to plan. I still didn't have my visa. The day I was about to get on that flight, feeling sick in my stomach that I was gonna go home and like not even have a plan of where we were gonna end up, I got the visa. I got the email, and I remember this moment so vividly because it was me, Tiao, and Joao. Joao is one of her best friends from New York, and we were walking to get pizza at Grand Street, and then I literally got the email, and I just freaked out. Like I physically like dropped to the floor. And I don't know what came over me. It was just like the weight and the anxiety just like lifted off my shoulders, and I just felt like I could breathe again after 40 days of just waiting and freaking out and refreshing my email and calling the government and all these things. So that moment was crazy. I obviously started bawling. Joel started crying. I don't know if Diallo started crying. I think he did. But it was such an emotional moment. And then I got to go home feeling so liberated, knowing that we had a plan, knowing that we could book our flights, and it was all in motion. So we got super lucky. And this is the part that I forgot to mention. So Diallo's job actually was able to sponsor both of us. That visa became a working visa, and now we're no longer in our working holiday visas. So we have the opportunity to stay here in Australia for until 2030, which is a long time. But that's our story, guys, and we're super lucky that it all worked out, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that struggle with that working holiday and timings. But if there's a suggestion I can give to you, is that if you're really keen on coming here and you have a date in mind, just apply for that working holiday visa right now. Like, don't wait for it, just apply, because when you do get it, you have, I think, a year before it expires. So as soon as you come to Australia, that's when the year starts. So just apply for it now. Save yourself the anxiety and the trauma that me and Tiago had to experience. And I'm sure it's all gonna work out. But yeah, if I had to redo all of that, I would, because that moment of me receiving that visa is a memory that I will never forget. And the best part is that it was me, Tiago, and Joao. And yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago because so much has happened since. but I'm very grateful, and here we are. But anyways, guys, I will take you through my weekend starting on Friday, because right now it's Thursday evening, so there's not much to show. It's just raining and we're probably not gonna get up too much today. So I'll start the vlog tomorrow and I'll bring you guys with me on another rainy weekend. Hey guys, it's the next day and I'm in the city. It's super loud, but I just started making my way to Manly and it's such a long commute. I had to take the bus, then I took the train, and now I'm gonna get a ferry. And it's probably like an hour and a half total, so it's a very long commute, but it's worth it because I'm gonna go see Mari and we're gonna have the most chill, cozy day together. We're planning on going to the gym and then maybe going to get some brunch after that, and then just hanging out for the rest of the day. And then I'm gonna make my way back to Bondi, and it's probably gonna be pitch black by then because it's starting to get dark at like 4:35 now, which is really depressing and unmotivating, but it is what it is. It's winter and I'm super cozy with my sweater and I'm about to get on that ferry, so I'll bring you guys with me. Hey guys, happy Sunday. The day is gorgeous today. So we're gonna go do a little bit of a day trip to Royal National Park. It's gonna be a little bit of an adventure and our friend Dimitris is coming to pick us up right now and we're gonna head out.